Ross. Look up blue frequency on your kneeboard card. Ground, this is Blackjack 2-1 on blue. Do you copy? Over. Roger 2-1, we need a dust off in your area. Advise when ready to copy shackles. Roger, go ahead. We have a reconnaissance team with 2 wounded and the enemy is right on top of them. They're in Bravo, Quebec 5282. Contact Bravo 6 on 42.6. Roger Bravo, Quebec 5282, 42.6 on Fox Mike. They're close. I marked the approximate location on the map. Bravo 6, this is Blackjack 2-1, over. 2-1, this is Bravo 6, over. We're overhead your posit, can you see us? Roger, we can hear you, but we cannot see you. Better hurry, the things are about 100 yards from our position. We're about to be overrun. I'll be smoke.
Hey everyone, Reflected here. My new Huey campaign is just around the corner, well, hopefully, and I'm really excited about this one as it's my first helicopter campaign. I thought I'd make a video about a few important aspects of it, things that will be crucial for mission success. Before making this campaign, as usual, I read at least 5-6 books about the topic, personal accounts written by Huey pilots who flew in the Vietnam War. Research is the most important part of making a good campaign. Every now and then the authors drop a little detail about how those missions were carried out. When you get enough pieces of this jigsaw, you can figure out fairly accurately what the procedures were like back then. This is absolutely key to making a historically accurate and immersive campaign. In one of the books, the author described how they used the radios. The slicks, so Huey is tasked with cargo and troop transport, use the UHF radio. You'll begin the campaign being assigned to a slick unit. Gunships, on the other hand, use the VHF radio to talk to each other. In the second half of the campaign, you'll be transferred to gunship unit. But even as a slick pilot, you'll need to talk to gunships, such as the ones escorting you, for example. Finally, they use the Fox mic, or FM radio, to talk to ground units, troops, etc. I recreated this in my campaign too. You need to check your kneeboard and tune the correct radio to the correct frequency, otherwise triggers won't work and the mission will be impossible to complete. No, your co-pilot will not tune the radios for you. He didn't buy the campaign, you did. It's a workload real-life pilots had to handle, so better get used to it. Normally, I would have used triggered radio transmissions on a given frequency, like in my Tomcat campaigns. The problem is, when the Huey is hit by small arms fire, the radios are the first one to get damaged usually, and then the missions would be impossible to complete. And believe me, you will get hit by small arms fire more often than you'd like. Therefore, I used a workaround, an extra trigger condition, so the messages will be heard as long as your radio is turned to the right frequency, even if it's inoperational. It added a lot of complexity, but it was the best solution. However, these likely won't work in multiplayer, so no, there will be no co-op versions of these missions available. There's one little catch, a DCSism that we all need to live with. AI Hueys can only be assigned a UHF frequency, but not a VHF one. This means that when you fly as a gunship with an AI wingman, and you want to use the built-in radio menu to make him do stuff, you'll need to use the UHF radio instead of the historically correct VHF. He'll be on whatever frequency you're on, so don't worry. So you need to set this switch to 2 in order to transmit on the UHF. Set it there at mission start, then you can forget all about it. You'll still need to be on the correct frequency on the VHF to hear all his custom voiceovers. I know it may sound confusing. All you need to remember is that if you have an AI wingman, set that knob to 2 at mission start. That's it. Otherwise, just follow your kneeboard as far as frequencies go.
Flight. Engage targets of opportunity.
You'll need to talk to lots of agencies, FARPs, bases, FACs, controllers, but you will never be required to use the built-in DCS radio menu at any time, except when you want to make your wingman do stuff like attack a target. You can use ATC if you like, but it's not required for the missions. All the important conversations have been set up with custom voiceovers anyway. Another important thing is that the ROE of the door gunners will be handled by the mission automatically, so do not change them, otherwise you may mess things up. The co-pilot's ROE, on the other hand, is entirely up to you. You decide whether you want to do all the shooting, or you let him handle those miniguns. Anyhow, this will be a fun campaign, but it will also put a lot of workload on you and really challenge you as a Huey pilot. After all, flying in Vietnam was no walk in the park either, and I wanted this campaign to do justice and be a more or less accurate representation of what it must have been like to fly Hueys over the jungle. Stay tuned and don't forget to subscribe. See ya!